Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this one is a single page in the craft journal, and I'm going to use the You Are the Universe stamp set from Dina Wakley. So to start off with, I'm going to be sticking in a piece of collage tissue paper from the Grids collage pack, probably one of Dina's more recent collage paper packs. And they're really great for using as a whole background starter, kind of getting rid of that blank page and just adding something down which gives you some marks on your background to start off with. I'm using some matte medium to stick it in. As you can see, I've put too much out. I think I was kind of hoping that the page might soak up some of that matte medium, but you can see it is kind of disappearing. And then I'm just going to stick that down as it is, brush some of the matte medium over the top as well, just to help it settle into place and blend into the page, and then that will get given a really good dry. So I'm going to try and create quite dark tones on the background, going in with dark colours. So this is lapis. You can see mine's gone a bit lumpy. I have got a new one now, just needed a little bit of water adding to it just to get it going. So I'm starting off with that at the bottom of my page. Just like grab another lump of it and spread it out, a bit like trying to ice a cake when you've made your icing too thick. And then I have added a little bit of black in as I've pulled it towards the top of my page. I'm just kind of adding a bit more lapis in, brushing it around, blending the colours together. Then I'm going to use a baby wipe and a stencil and lift some of that colour off through the stencil, just to create a little bit more pattern and interest, because at the moment you can't even see the collage paper. It's completely disappeared because the colours that I've chosen are so dark. So next I'm using mineral and this Marks stencil, and I'm just adding some stenciling over the top of my background, and I'm kind of overlapping where I've done the reductive stenciling as well, just to make it all kind of hang together really nicely and bring some more marks onto that background and lift it a bit with a slightly lighter colour. So now you can actually see some of the collage paper through the background too. I mean, it doesn't bother me always whether you can or can't see what you've put on your background. I think that's one of the joys about mixed media, is that you make all those layers and some of them you can't ever even really see. So then I've used a bit of white. I haven't changed my blending sponge, so it still had some mineral left on it, and I've just added a little bit more stenciling on the page too, and then I'm just adding a bit of white along the bottom, which almost looks like snow. It wasn't meant to look like snow, but that's what it's making me think of right now. This is the You Are the Universe stamp set, and I'm going to use one of the figures from this. So I was kind of working out which one was going to look best on my page, which one was going to have the effect that I wanted. So now, I know you're going to think this is crackers, but I'm going in with black and I am adding some text stenciling over the top of my page. So I think I can kind of explain my reason here. So I'm going to be creating quite a bright sun type of image in the top left hand corner of the page, and so I want it to be a big contrast with everything else. So I needed my background to be very dark so that it would create that big contrast. So I'm stamping the image onto some white cardstock. Wasn't too pleased with how well the first one had stamped, so I've gone in again, and then I'm just going to fussy cut it out. My favourite thing to do, as you know. and then that's going to be stuck onto my page. So I've gone for white. Obviously, if I'd done it on collage paper, it would have disappeared into the background. I couldn't have stamped straight onto my page because that would also have just disappeared. So adding it onto some white cardstock means I've got another layer of contrast on my journal page too. At the minute, the only white I've got on there is that kind of slightly murky white at the bottom. And as you can see, that really, it does pop off the page really nicely. So here I'm adding in my kind of sun type of image in the top left hand corner, starting off with white. And then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. So this is Lemon from Dina Wakley. So in a sense, this journal page is about how your shadows move with the light. So actually this kind of really isn't representing the sun, it's representing a light source. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, what, the sky wouldn't be that dark if the sun was out. So let's just say it's a light source. It could be any light source. And, you know, the fact that the background is so dark is just because I want a good contrast with what's going on my page. It's my art journal, and this is where you think you can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be factually correct. So now I'm adding some white splatters too. And then I'm going to stick my stamped image on. I'm just using a little bit of my clear glue to stick that in place. And then I'm going to draw a shadow. That was easy. And now I'm just making sure that everything's kind of grounded and nothing's floating around in the air. And making sure that the shadow actually touches the figure as well. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. And then because my background's very dark, writing in black wouldn't work, so I'm going to write in a white Posca pen. Just writing my words on that right hand side, and again you can see I've gone for big writing. That wasn't a conscious decision. But now I've clocked it, I guess it will become more of a conscious decision, won't it? Yeah, something that I hadn't really realised that I did. So one thing that I did do here, because the Posca pen kept kind of fading into the background, so I dried it really well, and then I went over the writing again and then dried it and went over it again, and it just kind of made that white even brighter. So just a little tip there, if you find that you're writing in white pen and it's disappearing, just go over it a few times, but you do need to make sure it's dry in between each time you write over it. So I've also added a little bit of journaling on the figure and a bright pink heart as well. And then lastly, just to finish off, just some white dots around the edge using the same Posca pen. And that was pretty much how this page played out. So I think what I would say about this is your art journal is your art journal, and you can create whatever reality you want in there. You can journal what you like, how you like. So don't be too caught up in this isn't factually correct. It doesn't matter. It is about it being a safe space for you to journal out the things that you need to get out of your head. All right, that said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope to see you again soon.